So the first thing you're going to do is learn how to punch. Basic theory about punching, okay, kind of falls under also basic theories and basic ideas and philosophies about just striking somebody, okay? It's not easy. And hey, I'm here, I'm with you, okay? I totally understand and stuff like that. This whole macho thing, I've seen incredibly strong, tough people who are not, okay, not pushovers, and they're not wimps, and they don't have the fight or flight, they don't have the flight thing, okay? But it's still a big deal, and it took them an arm and a leg, and other times they just, because they didn't know what to do, and it's not, contrary to popular belief, it is not normal to get into an argument with somebody and punch them in the face. That's not normal. And contrary to popular belief, okay, and on versions of it, it's not normal for somebody to step on your sneaker, or you to step on somebody's sneaker, and for them to punch you in the face. And I want to go further into the technique, and I've spent a tremendous amount of time on the streets, okay, it's not normal to punch somebody in the face, period. That is not a normal thing, and very few places have a monopoly on that. Those are a select type of thing. And I'm not trying to say, like, you know, New York City, I'm not trying to say someplace else is one, boom, boom, boom. Anywhere in the world, it's a certain percentage, and it's a select percentage, and it's a select type of behavior that will quickly approach sociopathic behavior. Okay? So, sociopathic. So, I say this all the time. Violence can come very easy to sociopathic people. Violence may not come so easy to good, decent people. So you have to learn that violence, okay, believe it or not. And it's a very interesting, very, very fascinating, intriguing, and also I could also throw in words like very unfortunate situation and reality or circumstance for it, okay? I am somebody who learned all of my violence, okay? Violence did not come natural to me. I was surrounded by violence. And so, yeah, I learned my violence and stuff. I did have an interesting theory about that. I thought that at first did you think like the sociopathic person, the person that has they don't even think. There's no thought process involved. There's no checks and balances, whatever. Problem, eliminate, hammer, smash his head, crack his head wide open. Okay. But then I did have a theory, and I started formulating, and I started believing that the person who learns their violence probably would be the best threat. Better than the sociopathic person. The sociopathic person certainly has their benefits and stuff like that. Certainly does. Okay. But in the long run, or when everything is weighed and we're in the bigger picture, I think that the person who learns their violence, who has to learn their violence, will be better at violence than the sociopathic person and stuff. Am I speaking from experience? Well, so, but yeah. Right, so it's being able to punch somebody in the face is not easy. Being able to just engage physically at all is not easy. So don't feel bad if you know what I mean. If you've ever been in a situation where you realized you should have done something, or you should have released and you didn't, or you felt a certain way and stuff like that, don't feel bad, because that's really normal. And I've been there as well. And we're going to touch on the history of me. We're going to get to that. I don't know if we're going to get to that in this series, or I'll do another video, whatever, but there are heaps of things to share and stuff like that. You should be able to look at somebody's technique. You should be able to look at the physical things they do, and at the very least say, okay, those physical things look good. I could start to get an interest. I can start to explore. I like those physical things. I like the way they're executing it, even if they may have a tremendous amount of experience or years doing it, okay? Okay, that's still not to be taken for granted, because there are people who are doing something for 20 years and the technique still looks like crap, and it doesn't look like it's going to work, okay? So yeah, man, first, before you find out if somebody is legit is a weird type of word. It depends on what they're claiming. to be legit. If somebody's claiming to be an amazing straight fighter, then you could start modifying and catering your ideas of how to say, well, how can I feel comfortable believing that, or not because I'm interested in whether you're a liar or not, because I'm looking at your techniques and I'm seeing them, whatever they are, whether they look good or not, and I said, well, I don't know if they'll work or whatever, and I'm not somebody who has access to a lot of sparring, and I'm not somebody who has access or who gets into a lot of fights. So how do I, right, you know? Yeah, so you follow your gut. Step one, if it looks good, and by looking good, it doesn't mean visual eye candy, okay? It has to have some kind of force to it, some kind of power to it. It has to look like something that you can probably do, maybe with a little bit of training or something like, but something you could also do. Because if a guy's doing 360, 720 backflip spin kicks, you know, that's different, and they put a lot of passion into that, and that kick is amazing and stuff like that. But that's not where, you know, that's not going to help you. Not going to help you when you look at that. You need to look at, I got fun stuff for you. When I'm talking with somebody, and I do a lot of in youth works over the years and stuff like that, to meet a lot of people, and kids love the fighting. You know, guys, young adults love the fighting. Of course, I love the fighting too. Okay, not fighting, it's in the sense of bullying or whatever, but just the whole thing, the sport of it. Not necessarily in the ring boxing, but this in philosophy, whatever, the sport of it, the sport of fighting, the competition, the ultimate type of video game where you are the character and you're working on yourself and stuff, and the stakes are high. You could get hurt. Okay, so some of this stuff. Okay, this is not just me. A lot of old school, a lot of great trainers, a lot of fighters, a lot of boxers, a lot of trainers and stuff like that. They know everything that I'm talking about. A lot of what I'm talking about right now, they're going to know. They're going to know. There are certain things that we can see straight away. There are certain moves. There are certain things that we can ask you to do. Okay? And within 2-4 seconds, or within seeing you perform, execute that move, okay, we can know where you're at. All right? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter verbally. Doesn't matter what you sincerely believe. Some people sincerely believe they're at a certain level or whatever. It doesn't matter. The body cannot lie. The body cannot lie about the amount of years and the amount of practice that you put into something like that. Some people, there's different results. Somebody who's done something for 2 years might get better results than someone who's done it for 4. But somebody who's done it for 20 over somebody who's done it for 5, okay, you're going to see some things. Somebody who's thrown a couple of thousand punches and kicks, and somebody who's thrown tens of thousands of punches and kicks in their practice and in their training over the course of their, training and stuff like that, you're going to see certain things. So one of the things that there's a whole bunch of things you can ask to do and stuff like that. One of the things I like to ask to do all the time, okay, the double jab's an easy one. Just even naturally, that's your shield, the double jab, okay? The double cross, the double power walk, okay? Let me see that, and I ask kids all the time, let me see you throw 2. Let me see you throw 2 of that, okay? And right away you can see where somebody's at and stuff like that, how comfortable they feel with that, how much they can bring it back and still bring it in, how much they have to fight themselves to do that one. Another popular one, if you want, or whatever, the double hook. See the double hook. Because you got to bring it back and to the flow, whatever. So this can tell me, it tells me, it's not even about exposing somebody's experience level. Also, it tells me about how your body is performing, where your body is at. Okay, what was the flow? How fluid was it? How difficult? How choppy was it? Did you fight it? How much balance did you have when you do it? How effective was it? Okay, was there actually an arc? Was there actually a range to the actual punch? Okay, or did you know what I mean? How boxy is it? How close to the textbook? How close to the textbook is it? And things like, there's a lot of, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that you can learn. So one of the things I ask all the time is, let me see that double cross. Okay? Let me see the double power shot. Let me see you do this too. If you want to do the jab, don't ask him to do double jab, ask him to see triple jab. Let's see a triple jab. Okay? And if you're having fun or whatever, and right away, it's all part of it. Somebody's going to want to show me speed. They're going to want to make the show me I can do it fast. Great, go ahead, show me the speed. Because I can see techniques and what's happening in the speed and how you do it. You can't fool. Your body can't lie. Either you've done the move thousands of times or you haven't.